Happy Friday, everyone. So, let's get to my low, my high, and my act of kindness. Okay, so my low is the fact that I'm kind of bumming because of what the plans are going to be for this weekend. And I'll explain that in a minute. My high is, okay, and if you've been following me on social media, then you know I'm about to tell you probably. And white girls, get ready because this one goes out to you. I had my first pumpkin donut yesterday. It was actually it was the first pumpkin anything I've had. Yeah, pumpkin season is pumpkin spices back at Dunkin', so I had myself a pumpkin donut yesterday. It was very good. I'll talk about more of that in a minute. And getting the donuts was part of my act of kindness because my grandma wanted us some donuts, and I got her some donuts. She loves the pumpkin donut too. In fact, it was Wednesday when pumpkin spice first came back, at least by my knowledge. And, I got her some donuts on Wednesday as well. And like, wait, pumpkin's back? I'll get her a pumpkin donut. She loves pumpkin donuts. So do I. Pumpkin is just so good. It is. Like, yeah, I know it's sort of a bad sign that summer is on the verge of ending. But, I mean, it's that sweet, warm feeling taste of pumpkin spice that just evokes all kinds of goodness. It does. And the funny thing is, you can actually recreate pumpkin spice at home. I'm not kidding, you really can recreate it at home. I think the combination is like cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, and ginger. I think I forget what the ratio is, but I think that's how you can recreate it at home or something. Of course, pumpkin spice, the flavor is just so popular and so mainstream that, just make pumpkin spice and sell it in stores. And they do that. I think what's that one spice brand, McCormick? I know they do that. I've seen it before. Actually, I think my mom has that McCormick pumpkin spice stuff at home. I think she does. I have to look through her kitchen spice rack and see. So excuse me. I mentioned earlier that the plans this weekend are kind of bumming me out, and here's why. So, we're celebrating my youngest nephew's birthday this weekend, which, believe me, I am extremely excited and happy for. Really, I am. But here's the thing. My brother and my sister-in-law want to celebrate it at their house. What's the problem with that? Because they want to celebrate on Saturday. Now, all day tomorrow, I'm going to be pretty much in the city of Corning. Why is that a problem? Because normally after I'm done doing my business in Corning, I just bolt immediately right up to Cuca Lake. I'm not going to be able to go to Cuca Lake because of the party. I want to rest on the dock, get some sun, jump in the water, and get ready for church. I mean, the important thing is that I'm with family, and believe me, I really am excited. In fact, I already plan on getting my birthday card for him today. Although, it's just kind of a huge missed opportunity because we really could be having it at the lake. And the sad part is, because of how they always have, my brother and my sister-in-law always have parties at their house, they're going to have dinner at super duper early, at 3 o'clock, far too early before church. And here's the thing, I go to church on Saturday nights. You guys know this, I've talked about this many times. There's a reason why I have dinner after I go to church. Because if I have dinner before I go to church, I'm full from dinner, obviously. And church is not the most entertaining thing to go to. I will be the first to admit that. I'm a Catholic man, and I can tell you that going to church is Well, it's boring AF. That's the most blunt way I can put that. And when something's boring and you're full, you're just like you feel every minute of the time you're there, to the point where there have been times, very, very rarely, where like I go on a full stomach and I'm just like, not literally, but actually I was just yawning right there just now. But my point is, like, I'm just like falling asleep practically, and that's not something you want to do when you're in church. I'm sorry. I mean, I really have been trying to be better about, overall, I've been trying to be better about being appreciative of going to church. Because, again, this is coming from a guy who, growing up, hated it. I hated going to church when I was a kid. And I'm not going to say it's my favorite thing to do in the world, but I do have a better appreciation for it. Which really is more important, because, and here's the thing, there's a reason why I don't brag about my religion or anything. Because, listen, religion is just one of those things where it gives people a sense of purpose, of faith, and some moral fiber to try and be a good person in life. That's it. It's honestly why whenever I hear people talk about how crazy the Bible is, yeah, it is. But if you focus on that, you're not gonna really be able to get the message. The Bible contains stories and lessons that people read and learn from, so you don't make any morally regretful mistakes. That's just how it is. And I will admit, there are some things about the Bible that make absolutely no sense whatsoever. I'm a Catholic, and I'll admit to that, but I don't pay attention to that stuff. Then again, I will admit, again, growing up to the fact that I hated going to church, I barely pay attention to anything in there at all. But I know some people do, and they definitely see that as their means of, faith. That's a good thing. Like, you gotta have faith in something. I mean, why else are we here? I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking that. Although, with that being said, at the risk of sounding a bit preachy, if I ever have a son or a daughter, of course I do want them to believe in God. Of course I do. It's just like one of my favorite comedians, Billy Gardell, once said, "When did that become uncool?" She said, "When did that become uncool?" I know how it became uncool. I just don't know at what point it became uncool. Whether it was corrupt people in the church back when the church took over all of Europe. Oh yeah, believe me, the Catholic, especially, let's be real here, the history of Christianity is not a good one. It's not a great one. It's not actually, depending on who you are, it is probably a horrible one. It's a mixed bag. I'll say that much. Yeah, I really shouldn't be talking about this anymore. Let's talk about other things. If I recall correctly, season 2 of the Cuphead show is on Netflix. So I'm gonna try and binge watch through all of that, and maybe talk about that tomorrow, if I'm able to. I think it's tomorrow. I think it may be next week when it comes. It might be next week when it comes back, but if it's today, I'm definitely gonna, try and watch it. Unfortunately, my computer is packed up right now, so I can't really look at it at the moment. Although, speaking of things to binge watch, I gotta give a huge special shout out to a friend of mine, because Full disclosure, I am still finishing up Virgin River. I've got like 2 episodes left. And in my defense, I thought there's 10 episodes a season, but apparently season 4 has 12 episodes in it. So that's why I only have 2 left to go. A friend of mine started on like a Friday evening, and she's already done. And I mentioned how before, okay, so you have like 40 plus episodes, each episode being like at least 40 minutes, if that. Like sometimes I've seen it start at like 41 minutes. I've seen it be up to like 48. So it's a lot. Like, if this is a show that was on like regular television with commercials, it really would fit the hour time slot probably. It's like that long. Maybe even an hour and a half, I don't know. So, yeah, it's a pretty long show. And my friend's essentially already caught up, which is mind-boggling to me. Like, I've been taking my sweet time trying to finish season 4, and she's already done. Like, she started legit from episode 1, and she's already finished. Meanwhile, I start, like, before I went on vacation, and okay, it's a combination of taking my sweet time and procrastinating a little bit, because you gotta remember, they're already filming season 5, so it's gonna be a while before season 5 airs on Netflix. Therefore, as soon as I'm done, that means there's nothing left until season 5. And it's going to be a very long wait. And no one likes that. No one likes having to wait for things. They just don't. So that happened. The other things of note that happened yesterday is Hot Ones had a Truth or Dab episode featuring the Impractical Jokers. I will admit, I don't watch Impractical Jokers. I mean, I know what it is. And I will admit, some of the things I have seen them do, it's funny. But it's just, I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea. It's just not my cup of tea. I mean, the shows where you're trying to film people do pranks on each other and stuff like that. I mean, I get why it's funny. I really do. And I have seen some things that have made me legitimately laugh out loud. But I don't really go out of my way to watch, that show. I'll go out of, there are some shows you really will go out of your way to watch if you like them enough. I go out of my way to watch America's Got Talent and The Masked Singer. And, back when Amphibia was airing, of course I was going to go out of my way to watch that. Because those shows just appeal to me more. Impractical Jokers really is a genre of show that I see the appeal, and I find it charming in its own way. It's just not for me. That's all it is. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it, but the guys when they were doing Truth or Dab, I mean, obviously they were dying, because if you don't know how Truth or Dab works, you either got to tell the truth or you have to take a bite of a wing that's covered in any dose of The Last Dab, because The Last Dab has actually had several versions of it. There was the original one made with Pepper Axe. There was The Last Dab Redux, which is Pepper Axe, Chocolate Axe, and I forget what the other one was. And the last one is The Last Dab Apollo, which the Apollo pepper is surpassed Pepper Axe. So these are hot wings, to say the least. And seeing the Impractical Jokers suffer like that was actually kind of funny. I mean, let's be real here. While Hot Ones is a show where I do legitimately learn a lot from the guest that is on the show, literally the big appeal of the show for everyone, and including me, I guess, is the fact they're eating hot wings and they are just suffering so much pain from it. It makes for good, entertaining TV. It just does. You know, I don't quite know how to explain it, but it works. It just works. And again, it's really funny, and you know, but you do learn a lot of neat stuff. I mean, do I even need to get into episodes like Neil Patrick Harris, Andrew Zimmern, David Grohl, and you know, even people like, you know, Billie Eilish? Oh yeah, I had no idea who Billie Eilish was until that episode of Hot Ones. And now, like I say, I like her music. It's pretty solid. And in case anyone's wondering, yes, I've got Bad Guy on my iPod. I also got I Don't Want to Be You Anymore. Ocean Eyes, of course. You Can See Me in a Crown. Bellyache. I think that's all of them. All the Billie Eilish songs I got. I don't know, whenever I hear an artist that I really do like, I really only get like their one song now, even though I really should be listening to more of their music. I'll work on that a bit later. I hope I liked this video. If you did, you know, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would do my YouTube channel greatly. Follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble. I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk with Chad, I'm always going to be here to London and Lowe's. Back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.